Good morning. It is Tuesday, June the 3rd. I'm Shane Seeley, and this is a CBC Morning Report. As the controversy and the fallout around artists involved in the Trojan rhythm plays on, the criticism from several corners of society as well, one business owner is hoping forgiveness could be the tune we sing going forward. After Digicel decided to part ways with influencer and artist-led Pipe, Nancy Nume, the owner of Soul Addiction, has made him an ambassador for her store, along with Mo the Chief, who also sang on that Trojan rhythm. Now, Ms. Nume is to join us live this morning on the Morning Report to explain the reason why she went ahead and decided to have them as her new brand ambassadors. So we'll discuss that in a matter of moments. But in other news this morning, we are hearing that there has been a delay in the resumption of first doses of COVID-19 and the vaccine being sent out to the public, being administered to the public. Co-coordinator of the National Vaccination Program, Major David Clark, had initially indicated the website for appointments would have been available this week. But he says an overwhelming response from frontline workers getting their first dose has necessitated some changes.
We have had a number of frontline workers come forward who did not come in the first round, especially hotel workers. In fact, I've got one hotel that actually has 300 workers that we have to finish. So we're trained and we'll probably finish that by next week. And then after that, we'll be ready to open the appointment system. But we're trying to get the frontline workers finished definitely by the end of next week.
Major Clark also revealed that the vaccination site at the Masonic Center in Salters, St. George will be closed until next week.
We work the Masonic Center on the Wednesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays and sometimes Fridays. But this team has been running flat out since the 1st of February. And since we're about to start back next week with appointments, this team is going to have a little break to do some in-house polyclinic stuff, such as the antenatals and child health clinics, to catch up on the backlog of things, and then they will start back next week.
And we'll update you on when the vaccination program and those first doses will resume right here on the Morning Report. We'll take a break here and come back and look at the local COVID-19 numbers and give you those regional and international COVID updates. Barbados has recorded 6 new cases of COVID-19, 2 males and 4 females, and this is from 414 tests conducted by the Best Dos Santos Public Health Laboratory on Tuesday. There have been 4,023 confirmed cases now of COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic in March last year. 39 people are currently in isolation, and 60,816 people are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The total vaccinations amount to 79,503, while the Best Dos Santos Public Health Laboratory has conducted 171,254 tests. Over in Jamaica, there is a change to the COVID-19 regulations there. The Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, announced the new measures in Parliament.
So now, new measures for 4 weeks. First up, the weekday curfew will be 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting on June 3 to the morning of July 1.
For weekends, Madam Speaker, the curfew will begin at 8 p.m. on Saturdays and on 2 p.m. on Sundays and end at 5 a.m. the following morning. So we have done, Madam Speaker, a recrafting of the hours to allow for greater commerce.
So essentially an extra 2 hours on Saturdays, and the curfew will remain the same for Sundays. Now, the Prime Minister says travel has been increasing globally in light of vaccination efforts, and he's announced changes to the country's quarantine requirements.
The requirement for all incoming travelers to present a negative COVID-19 test conducted within 3 days of travel remains in place. However, we have reduced the quarantine requirement for fully vaccinated persons to 8 days. To be clear, we do not consider persons fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after they receive the full dosage of the vaccine, meaning both doses in the case of a 2-dose vaccine or 1 dose in the case of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine manufactured by Johnson & Johnson.
Now, as for the stay-at-home orders for people over the age of 60, that will remain in place. However, those in that age group who are fully vaccinated will be exempted. The gathering limit also remains at 10. As for beaches and rivers, well, they will open come June 3, but strict COVID-19 protocols will also have to be followed.
Further afield in Nepal, health experts fear COVID-19 is spreading to rural villages where there are few hospitals and doctors. That is despite the country being in lockdown for a month, with the number of infections and deaths dropping.
Sonodip Bahadur Karki is making a slow and painful recovery from COVID-19. The 74-year-old became ill during a second wave of coronavirus in Nepal that's believed to be a more easily transmitted variant. He is one of several patients at an isolation center in Sindhupalchok, a district east of Kathmandu. Last week, one of them died.
In the first wave, patients recovered after a week or two, but recovery from the mutant variant in the second wave takes longer and morbidity is higher.
More than 550,000 people in Nepal have got COVID-19. More than 7,000 have died. While recent figures show a dip in daily infections and deaths, experts fear the pandemic has spread to rural pockets, severely testing Nepal's fragile health infrastructure.
More than 90 COVID patients are being treated here in Dhulikhel Hospital on the outskirts of Kathmandu. Many have arrived from outlying districts.
We saw up to 6 deaths a day. The numbers down this week, which is a huge relief.
But with limited testing and contact tracing, there are fears that COVID cases are being underreported.
Before the lockdown, hordes of people left Kathmandu, which was a virus hotspot. The villagers weren't prepared with quarantine or PCR testing facilities. So the virus has spread. We should anticipate a 3rd or 4th wave and plan our COVID response strategies.
Nepal experienced an upsurge in COVID cases in May that overwhelmed its health system. The international community flew in emergency medical supplies in support.
COVID has impacted not only the health sector, it has impacted people's nutrition, it has impacted them in terms of education, it has impacted families in ways that we cannot even describe. And basically, families are finding it difficult to cope. Mental health is a major issue. Families are afraid, and families are finding alternative mechanisms to cope. If we don't do something right away, you will find an increase in child labor, you'll find an increase in trafficking, suicide, and definitely a deepening intergenerational poverty cycle, which we want to ensure that we break.
Last week, the Prime Minister made an appeal for vaccines as the government had faced criticism for its response to the COVID crisis.
Let's now go over to Pearson Boyne to hear what's coming up on the Thursday edition of Morning Barbados. Pearson?
Good morning, Shane. Good morning, everyone. Coming up today, Thursday, as you know, we will be sharing with you the stories of some very young and enterprising people of Barbados. A couple of them who have a passion for business, and actually they're operating their own business. One young lady loves animals so much that she is determined to open up her world into that particular sphere. Another who wants to adorn females as well, and so her business is in lipsticks and lip balms and the whole like. So we'll get to meet her. Another who's decided, you know what, I couldn't afford the bread because the place was closed, and now you know what, I'm making my own bread. We get to meet her. But some young men who too are using either cricket or football to leverage their future. They're all very young and exceptional, and we'll share them with you when you join me on Morning Barbados. Back to you, Shane.
Thank you, Pearson. And after the break, we'll hear about clean energy coming for low-income earners here in Barbados. An effort is underway to provide working-class families with affordable, clean energy. This announcement from the Minister of Energy, Small Business and Entrepreneurship, Kerry Simmons. He was speaking at the unveiling ceremony for a new annex at the Barbados National Terminal Company Limited yesterday. Mr. Simmons says the BNTCL will play a major role in providing low-income households with clean energy.
Equally impressed I am by the fact that there is going to be provision and sale at an expanded level of photovoltaics for the average consumer in Barbados. If there is a concern that I have as minister, it is that for too long this new technology is being treated as though it was something that is only for the upper middle class and middle class of Barbados to be able to enjoy. The challenge that we have is to be able to make sure that every household in Barbados can benefit from this type of energy. And therefore, the initiative of this company in making sure that the smaller system available for the working class community is there and taking the lead in that market when others have shunned that.
Minister Simmons has also revealed plans to assist people unable to transition to clean energy.
So I want to begin by congratulating the board and obviously the members of staff again on the pilot study that you are now doing, which is aimed at ensuring that you test various blends of diesel so that there can be a rollout of biodiesel in Barbados, which will enable those persons who are not in a position over the course of the next 9 years or so to transition their vehicle to being electrified.
The impact of the ashfall from the last Soufriere volcano on Barbados would have been more severe if not for the many trees right across the island. the suggestion from the Minister of Environment and National Beautification, Adrian Ford. He was speaking during the launch of the Clean and Green campaign in Friendly Hall, St. Lucie. Here's what he had to say.
Had it not been for the several trees, the forestry that we see here, the green environment, Barbados would suffer a more devastating effect of the ash fall. The trees, importantly, save the ash from devastating our homes because a lot of the leaves trap the ash. Look around, you will still see a lot of ash on the leaves. I am saying that to say this. Trees have a multiplicity of functions, and one of them is to take the dust, the ash, and the heat from the atmosphere, along with its ability to reduce our carbon dioxide footprint and provide food, as the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture would allude to.
Now, the Indian-born Antiguan and Barbudan citizen Mehul Shosky, who claimed he had been kidnapped in that CARICOM country and forcibly taken to Dominica late last month, has pleaded not guilty to a charge of illegally entering the island. He will return to the magistrate's court there on the 14th of June. He was charged with entering the island illegally through Tukair, a small fishing village located on the northwest coast, a port not approved as a port of entry. Now, migration is at the top of the agenda as the U.S. Secretary of State makes his first official visit to Central America. Anthony Blinken is in Costa Rica as part of President Joe Biden's goal to tackle the root cause of migration and to back an effort to stop refugees and migrants from arriving at the United States southern border.
Bustling with activity, downtown San Jose, the capital of Costa Rica, a country with steady economic growth, a politically stable democracy, and a world leader in environmental policies. Add it all up, and this is why the tiny Central American country of 5 million people is often called a shining success story. It is not a mistake, then, that U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in town to meet with Costa Rica's President Carlos Alvarado Quesada and discuss, among other things, a growing surge of migrants from Central America along the U.S. southern border. For Blinken, Costa Rica isn't the problem, but much of the rest of Central America is.
We meet at a moment when democracy and human rights are being undermined in many parts of the region. We see this in the erosion of judicial independence, the crackdown on independent media and NGOs, the barring of political opponents, the quashing of anti-corruption efforts.
In April alone, a record 178,000 migrants were stopped at the southern U.S. border.
Let's look at some sporting news now, and we're just one day away from Barbados' big clash against the host Dominican Republic in the CONCACAF FIFA World Cup 2022 qualifiers. The Tridents have been hard at work in preparation for the must-win encounter against the DR and Dominica. A number of overseas-based players are expected to be named in the Tridents' starting 11, including defender Christian Pierce and forwards Hallam Hope and Thierry Gale. Of note, Barbados, who were in third position in Group D in the lead-up, have now slipped to fourth in the table after Dominica blanked Anguilla 3-0 to move to 3 points. That's the same as Barbados, but they have a superior goal difference after the Tridents scored just 1 goal in their first round of matches. Head coach Russell Latapy says the build-up to Friday's match has been anything but smooth.
The training pitch that we're using in the afternoon, I guess at this time of the year here, it's not in the best condition. So a lot of the training that we're doing now in the evening times are really more tactical stuff, tactical preparation. So it's good that the hotel we're staying at, we've got a little tennis court at the back. So we kind of get the boys up early in the morning and try to put in a little bit of physical work where they wouldn't be subjected to injuries. To that level, and then in the afternoon time we kind of walk through the tactical stuff.
And Latapy says the host will not be easy to beat at home, but the Tridents are aiming to bring their A game.
And I think we get into the place where, in terms of our discipline, our work ethic, our attitude, most importantly, our image, the way that people saw us before and the way they look at us now, I think it's completely different. And I think because of these things, I think it doesn't matter what 11 goes out on the field. I think these boys are going to make their country proud. We have a process that we're working with and working towards. I think if we trust in the process, the results would definitely come. I think along this process, we've come a long way. There's still a long way to go. And again, like I said, the mentality that we try to instill in the players is that it doesn't matter who we play against. It's 11 against 11. And when we go out there, we give our best effort.
And that match between Barbados and the Dominican Republic is set for 7 p.m. on Friday. Some surfing news now in Barbados' top female and male surfers, Chelsea Tuak and Josh Burke, are the last hope for the island qualifying for the Tokyo Olympic Games this summer. Tuak won Heat 14 of the second round in the repo charge section yesterday at the ISA World Surf Games in El Salvador. She dominated her competitors, posting an 11.23 with Myrna Bosma of the Netherlands, a distant second with 8.70. Tuak then followed that up in round 3 with another brilliant performance, posting 9.97 to advance. Meanwhile, Burke will surf today in round 4 of the men's repo charge after making it through yesterday. Unfortunately for Barbadian surfers, the 4 others were knocked out yesterday. Bruce Mackey, Shea Allen, Chelsea Rowett, and Gabrielle Gittins finished 3rd and 4th, respectively, in the repo charge section. Mackey was 3rd in Heat 3 with a score of 4.84, finishing behind Johnny Corzo of Mexico with 8.807 and Ricardo Delgado of Puerto Rico with 8.84. Here's what he had to say about the performance.
And here goes big Bruce Mackey on his backhand.
So he also opted to grab his rail on that bottom turn, Chris.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the, I don't want to say it's a safety measure because it is pretty difficult to kind of put it all together and grab that rail through the bottom turn. We'll see if Bruce Mackey does what the judges want here. 2 turns there, subtly different. Goes vertical on his 3rd turn. So nice controlled surfing, nothing super flashy, but just trying to get a baseline score on the board. I would say that's a, probably a mid-ranger, but a score that you can hang on to.
Yeah, that's him there on the waves. We really hope the existing members who go into this final round do really well. Meanwhile, Gabrielle Gittins was a disappointing 4th in Heat 5 with a 5.63, while Rowett narrowly missed out on 2nd place with an 8.03 for a 3rd position finish in Heat 4. Allen, meanwhile, battled hard but had to settle for 3rd as well in Heat 16 in round 2 with 7.37. A lot more sports coming your way, of course. There's international sports that you can look forward to, as well as England do battle against New Zealand in England. And we're watching that test match as well. But going back to our lead story this morning, as we speak about the fallout and the controversy surrounding those artists involved in the Trojan Rhythm, and that plays on. There has been criticism from all quarters, but Nancy Nume, the owner of Soul Addiction, has stepped up and said that she will make some of them, brand ambassadors, including Lead Pipe, who was initially cut by Digicel, and as well Mole the Chief. So here's Lead Pipe, and it was on her Instagram page, on Soul Addiction's Instagram page, as well, along with Mole the Chief, and there was a big welcome for them, and the feedback so far, according to Miss Nume, has been very positive. Of course, we will be watching these developments as they unfold, and we'll bring you up to date right here on the Morning Report. Time now for a look at the weather. The temperature right now, 28 degrees Celsius on the outside. It's partly cloudy and a bit windy. That should help to cool things down, especially as it's up to 29 That's what it's feeling like, the apparent temperature. The relative humidity stands at 61% this morning, so there has been some drying out of the atmosphere. No precipitation really in our region. The barometric pressure, 1013 millibars, is where it stands this morning, and those winds have picked up a bit, coming out of the east at 32 kilometers per hour. There will be a high tide this morning at 14 minutes to 11. And then there will be a low tide later on this afternoon at 13 minutes after 5. Those seas are calm to moderate in open water. Swells are between 1.5 and 2 meters right now and holding steady. Let's take a look at the forecast now, see what's in store for Barbados today. It will be mostly sunny with a few brief isolated light showers. And tonight we will get a mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief isolated light showers. Let's see how things are looking over in the Lesser Antilles right now. Today, the picture looks like this. Pretty much the same as here in Barbados. It will be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy there, with a few brief light scattered showers. Sunny skies for most of the day in the islands of the Lesser Antilles. And tonight, it will be fair to occasionally cloudy there, with a few brief light scattered showers. Here's a look at the international forecast for those of you who have got that vaccination and are able to make a travel to these destinations, a trip to these destinations. In London, the sun is out. This is a good day for them. Up to 18 degrees Celsius there. Still cool. The minimum temperature not getting into single digits at all. Down to 12 degrees Celsius. In Frankfurt, a bit warmer under cloudy skies. They're getting some precipitation there. Up to 23 and down to 16. In Miami, it's a pretty picture. Warm on the high side of things, getting up to 29 degrees Celsius. Still warm, only getting down to 26 degrees Celsius there. Boston is even warmer, at least on the high side. They're getting up to 32 degrees Celsius there, and it will be as cool as 22 degrees Celsius later on in the day. Extended daylight hours now as they move into summer in New York, up to 31 degrees Celsius and down to 21 today. In Toronto, that's a pretty picture, partly cloudy skies. 22 degrees Celsius the maximum, the minimum temperature expected today, 16 degrees Celsius. And in Montreal, cloudy skies prevail, but those cloudy skies are keeping in the heat. Up to 33 degrees Celsius there, that will feel like a scorcher for those living in that French-Canadian city. The minimum temperature expected today, 21 degrees Celsius. And that's it for this edition of the Morning Report. I'm Shane Seeley. Morning Barbados with Pearson Boyne starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to the one day of the week when we celebrate the goodness of our young people. I'm Pearson Bowen. This is Morning Barbados. A very special good morning to those of you watching us via our social media platforms on CBC Barbados and Morning Barbados Facebook pages. Good morning. And for those of you on our YouTube channel, Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, wonderful as always having you there as well. Today, young people in the spotlight, many of them doing some very enterprising things, heading into the world of business and operating on their own, facing those challenges frontally and making successes of themselves. And so that's what we're celebrating today. Like one of these who has found her passion in pets, and so therefore she's now going to pursue that passion into owning her own business to care for pets. She's still a student, and her name is Shavia Seal. Good morning to you, Shavia.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Give us a sense of your age and the school you attend.
I am 13 years old and I go to the Commonwealth Secondary School.
That's all right. So, Shavia, you have a love of pets. Which animals do you love so much?
Well, to be honest, I have a variety of animals that I love. I have a love for dogs, rabbits, birds, and I have all of those animals and I really love them.
So where did this interest in those animals come from?
My father. I grew up with him from overseas. I moved to Barbados at 2, and my parents always had dogs growing up. My dad always had an interest in birds, so I love them.
You know what, you're a girl. You could have said, you know, I want nothing to do with those dirty things. You know, I'm just going to focus on the other pretty things. But you instead thought, you know, boy, I love these so much and I'm going to do something about it. So what are you doing about this love for these furry pets of yours?
Well, I bathe and walk dogs. So usually I would take them out on my lawn. I don't have a big setup. I would take them out on my lawn. I would put them onto a leash and I would bathe them with my homemade conditioner and shampoo, and then I would walk them after.
Oh, that's very nice. I can hear your birds chirping away. Isn't that the most beautiful sound early in the morning to hear the birds chirping? It's beautiful. So what, by the way, let's talk about that for a minute. What birds do you have?
I have 2 singing canaries.
Ah, what songs do they sing?
Well, they just make a lot of noise throughout the day. They love to be outside.
They just make a lot of noise all day long. So how do you keep a bird quiet? Is it that when night falls, it suddenly goes quiet?
Well, Charlie, he makes a lot of noise at night while Angus sleeps. But when Angus goes outside, they make some noise and then they will quiet down for at least a good few hours.
Mm-hmm. All right,
and then
enough.
they will make some noise when they come back inside.
Because they recognize you, they get excited when they see you, and when they see other people. That's just wonderful. So you have your singing canaries, but you love to bathe and walk dogs. Now, is it all size dogs that you care for them in this way, or only the little ones?
Yes, all size dogs. I have a border mixed with mastiff in my yard. His name is Pokemon. And he's very big and I bathe him most of the time by myself. So yes, I have all sizes.
I know you've grown up around the dog, but so therefore you're not necessarily afraid of it. But what do the average person who has not grown up around the dog, what do you think I need to understand more about dogs?
Well, to be quite honest, dogs can be scared of you more than you should be scared of them sometimes. But some of them, it depends on the breed. I would say a pit bull could be a very aggressive breed, but it depends on how you would raise it. A Chihuahua, Jack Russell, that's a very excited breed of dog. It's very active. I have a Chihuahua mixed with Jack Russell, and he's very active. He jumps around a lot. So I would say it depends on the breed.
So if I just wanted a simple little docile in-house dog, which breed would you recommend?
Maybe a Jack Russell, small, and I would say they love to keep you company.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
Okay. So you bathe these dogs. Is it difficult to bathe the dog? Because I can't imagine the dog staying still as a human being would. So how do you go about this? Do they love the shower you give them?
Well, sometimes if the water is not too cold, they would stay still. So I would like hold them and by their collar, but not too tight. And I would split them down the holes. Then I would bathe them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would use this like loofah, like a scrubbing loofah. And I would bathe them. And I would say that they like it.
After all, they have feelings too, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of it all, though, this is what you now do as another way of showing that it's more than just a beautiful thing to have. You should actually care for them in this way and exercise them. So who do you offer this service of bathing and walking of the dog to?
Well, as of right now, my neighbors, all of them have lots of dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they would just come, get their dogs bathed, and I enjoy bathing them. They're so nice and cute and fluffy.
Just because you love them so much. And then you take them on walks. Why do you think the walking of the dog is so important?
Because the walking can also give them a little bit of exercise, and sometimes it would be like early in the morning or it would be in the evening, so the sun would be out, and it would dry them off also with rubbing them. So I put like coconut oil and lavender oil on their fur after I bathed them, so they would smell nice and their fur would shine. And I walk them inside, and like it's really nice.
That's beautiful. So have you given thought to how you want to establish this as your real business? And if so, what plans do you have to really set this up as a thriving enterprise?
When I get older, I would like to be a chef, and I'm also interested in architecture. But I was thinking about this as like a side job to help raise money for college.
But one day it might very well become your big enterprise. It could very well do so. And I'm sure your parents would engage with you and your friends in making sure that, you know, the business thrives and it makes a lot of money for you. So for anyone who's not necessarily living in your area, who just thinks, you know, I can't handle bathing this dog, let me take it over to Shavira. How can we contact you?
I have an Instagram page and WhatsApp.
You have an Instagram page, or you're still a young little teen, you are? So what is this Instagram page? What's this Instagram page?
Canine friendly. I post the dogs that I bathe, but I like now started up with the Instagram account. So the dogs I did in the past, I still have to like find the pictures to post on there.
Right.
But I would like post certain clips of me like training my dog. So that's what I posted yesterday, and I think it's growing well.
That's sweet. How much would it generally cost for you to bathe my dog?
For a bath, depending on the size of the dog, it'll be $10 for a bath and $7 for a walk.
Well, that's very affordable. That's very, very affordable. Who helped you to determine the price of these services?
My mother, she is in business management.
Ah, so she's the one who keeps your head straight to make sure that you don't cheat yourself, nor do you cheat your customers. And then,
yes,
what is, you said you're using this as an opportunity to raise funds for you to do other things. And you said you're very much interested in, what is again, architecture?
And culinary arts.
And culinary arts. Why those?
Well, my mother worked in the hotel industry, and right now she's in food and nutrition at a hospital. So I watch her a lot in the kitchen, and I really love how like the food is made and how it's prepared. So I fell in love with like food, and I feel like a chef would be the best thing, because usually when my mommy's cooking, I would like help her inside the kitchen.
Right.
I think it was like a few weeks ago I made curry, and it tasted so
to your palate. But did others say the same thing, that it tasted so good?
Yes, please. All the members inside my house.
So you try it again, right?
Yes, please.
You think you have the recipe down pat, that if you had to try it with your eyes closed, that you'll get it right?
Maybe just a little mistakes, or just a little mess up here and there, but I feel like I might have it down pat.
Very good. What do your friends think about the business that you're doing, though, Canine Friendly? What do they say to you about the business?
Sometimes they would like, if they have dogs, they would say that they're either too aggressive or they like bug. So they asked me if how is it going, and to be quite honest, it didn't start that long ago. So I have this one friend, and she assists me with my social media platform, and I really enjoy her assistance.
Oh, that's sweet. At least you have their support. Canine Friendly it is. And so Canine Friendly offers the services of bathing and walking of your dogs. And of course, Shavira has a passion for other animals as well. But right now, the business is about Canine Friendly. And I guess eventually one day it will go into the cats as well, the feline.
Maybe, hopefully.
It sounds as though cats are not your passion right now.
Not really.
I get you, girl. I get you on that one for real. So, Shavira, I want to wish you all the best. For someone watching today who says, all right, but I don't have an Instagram account, how can I find you? What numbers can they call so that they can get your services when you apply that lavender to the coat of the dogs?
841-7500.
841-7500. Shavira Seal is her name. She's a businesswoman now, and her business is called Canine Friendly. You can find it on Instagram or call for the service 841-7500. She's a serious businesswoman. She'll do it for you and leave you with an excellent result. You'll enjoy your pet even more, your dog at least. Shavira, thank you for joining us. I know you had to head off to school very shortly, but I want to wish you only the very best with all of your future endeavors. And something tells me you're going to make this a huge success. So well done, Shavira. We're very proud of you. You are one of our exceptional youth. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome. It was indeed an immense pleasure. Shavira Seal is her name. Canine Friendly is her business. We'll take a break right here. We'll be back with more. We're 60 minutes to go to 7 o'clock now. Another young businesswoman in the making is joining us right now. Her name is Ramaya Ned Clark. She is the owner of her own lipstick business, Lippy Cosmetics. Ramaya Ned Clark, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Listen, you make me feel so foolish because you already own your business. How old are you?
I'm 14.
14 years old and a businesswoman already. Lippy's Cosmetics. Tell me a little bit about that. What is it that you do?
So when it first came out, I was doing lip glosses, and then my mommy gave me an idea that I can start doing lip scrubs and body scrubs. So I think if few weeks on, we started doing exfoliating body scrubs, like if you have dry skin, and also lip scrubs also.
Wow, so you can use all those scrubs. So here we are watching something by you, Miss Maya. Here we are, you're showing a range of what you do. This is the gloss that you're applying?
Yes, please.
Oh, there you go, with that little pout. I want you to talk me through what we're seeing here. Which is this?
That is the watermelon craze lip gloss.
Ah, so it gives it a watermelon flavor?
Yes, please.
Ah, so you're 14 years old. How long have you been doing this now?
I would not say it's too long because I started the 9th of April.
This year?
But yes, please. So it has been a few months.
My goodness, and already you're well branded and well known. I mean, you were recommended to us, so somebody knows you. A lot of people already know you, Lippy Cosmetics. So who came up with the name Lippy Cosmetics?
I did.
Oh, really? So why did you choose that name?
Like, I don't know. I'm not too sure. It just popped out to me because I haven't heard any other names pertaining to that. So it was like, Lippy Cosmetics was good name, my brand.
Yes. So at 14 years old, I suppose like every little girl, you wanted to do those things that make women feel very sweet with themselves. This is the watermelon craze. Look at the packaging. The packaging is beautiful. It's an exfoliating body scrub. Who helped you with the bottling and the packaging?
My mommy.
Here we go, mommy again. And then look at this. What's this one?
That is the Crystal Clear.
The clear what?
The Crystal Clear lip gloss.
Oh, that's a lip gloss. Okay, sorry.
Yes, please.
So, but it has those little sparkly things in it?
Yes, please. And the sparkly one is Ice Mio, and the normal clear one is the Crystal Clear.
Okay. Is it very expensive, Soul Kiss? Is it very expensive to do this?
To buy the products to make them?
Mm-hmm.
I guess so, because like, there's certain oils cost more money than others. And like the base, some people have them expensive, some people don't. So you can say they could be expensive depending on who you buy them from.
Right. And so you obviously now have the assistance of mommy and a startup fund you, but you're taking it from the business will begin to turn over for itself. So who manages that business side of Lippy Cosmetics?
My mommy. She helps me out a lot.
So what do you do?
I make them because that's the hardest part about it. I make them and I have to make sure everything is right.
Yes.
And my mommy would like package them out and put on the names of the people who have ordered the stuff. So we have to make sure everybody get their order on time and it's the right thing, so we won't have any complaints.
That's a beautiful discipline there in business. It's delivered in right and on time to avoid complaints. So mixing this, though, it requires a little bit of science, I suppose, you know, how you pull flavors and different things together. What's your experience in science so that you are competent enough to be able to mix this?
I do not have experience in science at all.
So
I just have to pick the right measurement. Because the first time this had started out, we didn't really know how much oil to put in and how much flavoring. So we got advice from someone else that was helping me out, and like so we will remember how much the oil to put in and stuff. We write it down, so it wouldn't be too runny or too thick.
So it started by a little bit of trial and error, and then you got the assistance of an expert who guided you a little bit until you're now able to do it on your own. And now the future is really, really bright, you know, for everything that you do. But apart from lipsticks and lip glosses and the like, not lipstick, but lip balms and so forth, you also do lip scrubs and body scrubs. Who are your quote-unquote guinea pigs? Who are the testers for you in all of this?
My mommy. My
Poor
mommy
mommy.
and like two of my family members.
Right, right. So they're the ones who say, all right, I'll try it and we'll see how it goes. And so far, so
Yes,
good. No
please.
accidents at all about any of this.
No, please.
What
No, please.
kinds of guarantees can you give to, I mean, there are people who are watching you right now who are thinking, yes, we're all supporting you, Ramaya, but they want to try it. What kinds of guarantees can you give to them today that that product will work for them?
After using the product, if you buy a lid gloss, guarantee you will not have any more crusty legs.
Ah.
Number 2, for the scrub, if you use the exfoliant for the scrub, it will have your skin shiny, but not to the point that it's greasy, and it will have your skin very soft.
So for sure, they will
Also,
work.
for the lip scrub. Yes, please.
So how's your market? How do you market what you have?
I'm not too sure. Can you please repeat the question?
You have your products and you have your business going on. So how do you get the word out that Lippy Cosmetics exists and Lippy Cosmetics offers this range of products?
I make sure that I post it on my personal social media. My mommy will post it on her WhatsApp and her IG, and like a few people I know will post it and say go shop now or whatever the case is.
So you're eventually, hopefully, going to be opening up your own business social media accounts?
We already have our business social media account.
Oh, what's it called? Lippy Cosmetics?
Yes, please.
So we can find you on Facebook, Instagram, and all of those other very popular social media spaces?
I do not have a Facebook, but we are making a TikTok for like behind the scenes of how the things are made, and we already have an Instagram to post the products on, so people can decide which one they want to buy from us.
Right. So it's not yet available in a store, but we can order through your TikTok and your Insta pages. We can order from you so that we get the product. And as you promised, we'll get the right one and we get the delivery on time.
Yes, please.
What thoughts have you given to growing beyond working from home and building out this business to be your next empire, Ramaya? What thought have you given to that?
Thought I will say I hope that I am able to have my products in stores, or even open up my own store where my own products can be sold.
So how are you balancing school, though, with all of your passion for creating these beautiful things?
It is stressful, very stressful, I must say.
I heard it. I heard it in your voice. What makes it so stressful?
Like, I have school, and then after some days, certain days I will have track, and sometimes I will come home late, and if I have homework, I will have to do it, then I have to go and bathe, then I will have to make the stuff that can be delivered or picked up.
So do we
So
order?
it's a lot of time management.
Do we have to order, or can we? Do you have a good stock that we can call on as it goes?
So if you want, yes, you order so that we will know when you order, you have to say yes, so that if we do not have enough, we can be extras.
Okay, fair enough. So what's the next stage now? Now you've done all that you're doing it very well. What do you think is the next stage for your business, Lippy Cosmetics?
I don't want to give up too much.
Lippy, come on. Sorry, Ramaya. You got me calling you Lippy.
But we are going to have our own body butters.
Ah.
And a few facial stuff, but I'm not going to get into that.
No problem. So you just got to keep watching your social media pages, right, and TikTok, just to see what's coming.
Yes.
So in all of this product development, I'm sure I can well imagine the discussion between yourself and your mother in trying to determine what do we do next? What's that next product? So who advises on these ideas?
Sometimes me, I will like bring out new stuff, or my mommy. So it's like a 50-50.
A 50-50, like that. But who takes charge? I mean, it's your business, it's your idea, it's your creativity. Are you the one who says, Mommy, no, we're not doing this? And then mommy says, listen, good little girl, I'm your mother. Is that how it goes?
No, not necessarily, because it's my business, and like if I'm not comfortable with something that she gave an idea of, she will say okay and ask me my opinion due to the fact that it's my business.
I like that. Your business, Ramaya. Tell your mother it's your business. I just love it. That's her I can hear laughing in the back there. That is beautiful. It's really beautiful to see what you're doing. So I'm really excited by what you're able to do already, Ramaya Ned Clark, through your business, Lippy Cosmetics. And something tells me your future is going to make us very beautiful as a people as well, because you're refreshing our people with your products as well. So for those who are looking for you, look for Lippy Cosmetics on TikTok or on Snapchat, not Snapchat, was it? Instagram. Hear me talking as if I know these things. But if you want to call to place an order to have a discussion about sensitive skin and how Lippy Cosmetics can assist, what number can we call?
You can contact my mommy at 834-7120 on WhatsApp.
Okay, 834-7120. Right? 834-7120, Lippy Cosmetics.
Yes,
Once again,
please.
just walk through that range of products you already have again. You have the lip gloss.
We have lip glosses, lip scrubs, and body scrubs.
Right, just those three for the moment. And of course, they come in varying flavors as well, as we would have seen the cotton candy, we would have seen the watermelon, and a whole range of different things. Get online, get to the phone, call Ramaya Ned Clark. That's her name. She's a young 14-year-old businesswoman and owner of Lippy Cosmetics. And of course, engage and get it all done. Ramaya, I go again calling you Lippy. Ramaya Ned Clark, thank you so much for joining us today. The reason why we had you on is because for us, you are one of our exceptional young people. We could only wish you the absolute best in all of your future endeavors, and much success to you and the business as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Very welcome. Thank you too for coming through. Ramaya Ned Clark, the business is called Lippy Cosmetics. It's available on TikTok and Instagram, or simply by telephone call her. As you see, she's already providing all of those beautiful things to make you feel even more beautiful through Lippy Cosmetics. These young people are definitely inspiring, and we'll have more coming up. So stay with us. We're right back. Oh, look at me. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's have our good decision of the day today. Brought to you by Glucerna, with those nutrients to support your immune system. You know when you get that shot, you look up and say, hey, look, I'm still there. Here we go. Today we want to remind you that you cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. Now that's a great decision today. A quote by Roy T. Bennett, with nutrients to support your immune system. That's our good decision of the day, brought to you by Glucerna. Now we can go to break. We'll be back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Still to come this morning, you'll meet a young man who would have gone to school at St. Albans Primary, the Alexandra School, St. Leonard's Secondary as well. And so he is now very much a cricketer, and he's using that to leverage his future. Plus another young man who has used football to become now a battery engineer. The opportunities presented themselves by way of a Barbados scholarship and another scholarship support that he would have received. And there he is now succeeding in his chosen career. Plus, we get to meet a lady who and her husband who operate a business, Container Kitchen 246. Why have they opened up such a business? What is it that they're doing, and how are they? What's that story? I think it's such a fascinating story. When you hear it, you start to laugh, but you realize the potential is very real. And we'll also meet a young woman today who has decided to become a fashion designer because of the going on with the pandemic that has propelled her into now designing. We'll have that and a whole lot more straight ahead, but let's get an update in the news. Here's Shane Seeley.
Yes, here are some of the stories making news at 7. A local business owner has made a bold step and has made 2 of the artists who were on the Trojan Rhythm, the controversial Trojan Rhythm, ambassadors for her store. While Digicel took action parting ways with artist Lead Pipe, yesterday Soul Addiction, owned by Nancy Nome, posted on its Instagram page that it has welcomed the new ambassadors in Lead Pipe and Mold to the team. The caption on the post read, "Welcome to the Soul Addiction family. We support local. We are proud sponsors of the talented." Ms. Nume, speaking to the Morning Report, has made clear that her brand and store does not support any type of violence, but these artists have done well for Barbados over the years, making many positive contributions, and that too must be taken into consideration. At least one of the artists, Peter Ram, issued a public apology on social media, and Prime Minister Mia Moore-Motley, who condemned the violent video, has asked all of the artists who sang on the Trojan Rhythm to follow suit and apologize to Barbados. Meanwhile, Barbadians hoping to get a first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine will have to wait a bit longer. This as there's been another delay in the resumption of that portion of the national vaccination program. Co-coordinator Major David Clark had initially indicated that the website for the appointments would have been available this week. However, he says an overwhelming response from frontline workers getting their first dose has necessitated some changes.
We have had a number of frontline workers come forward who did not come in the first round, especially hotel workers. In fact, I've got one hotel that actually has 300 workers that we have to finish. So we're trained, and we'll probably finish that by next week. And then after that, we'll be ready to open the appointment system. But we're trying to get the frontline workers finished, definitely by the end of next week.
Meanwhile, we hear that the vaccination site at the Masonic Center in Salter, St. George will be closed until next week. Here's what Major Clark had to say about that.
We work the Masonic Center on the Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and sometimes Fridays. But this team has been running flat out since the 1st of February. And since we're about to start back next week with appointments, this team is going to have a little break to do some in-house polyclinic stuff, such as the antenatals and child health clinics, to catch up on the backlog of things. And then they will start back next week.
Looking at the local COVID-19 numbers now, Barbados recorded 6 new cases of COVID-19, 2 males and 4 females, from among 414 tests conducted by the Best dos Santos Public Health Laboratory. There have been 4,023 confirmed cases of COVID-19 here in Barbados since the start of the pandemic in March last year, and 39 people are currently in isolation. 60,816 people are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19, with 79,503 people receiving their first dose. An effort is underway to provide working-class families with affordable, clean energy. The announcement is coming from the Minister of Energy, Small Business and Entrepreneurship, Kerry Simmons, as he was speaking at the unveiling ceremony for a new annex at the Barbados National Terminal Company Limited yesterday. Minister Simmons says the BNTCL will play a major role in providing low-income households with clean energy.
Equally impressed I am by the fact that there is going to be provision and sale at an expanded level of photovoltaics for the average consumer in Barbados. If there is a concern that I have as minister, it is that for too long this new technology is being treated as though it was something that is only for the upper middle class and middle class of Barbados to be able to enjoy. The challenge that we have is to be able to make sure that every household in Barbados can benefit from this type of energy. And therefore, the initiative of this company in making sure that the smaller system available for the working class community is there and taking the lead in that market when others have shunned that. Equally impressed I am by the fact that there is going to be provision.
And that's your headline news at 7. I'm Shane Seeley. Back to you, Pearson.
Thank you, Shane. Now, 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, we'll give you an opportunity to win with our Crumbs question of the day after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is already 8 minutes after 7 o'clock. There are clearly some eager beavers who are waiting to win this morning with our Crumbs question of the day. Time for you to get on the phone, though, to give us a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563, because here comes today's Crumbs question of the day. When you win, you're winning with Crumbs Bakery. Of course, Crumbs Bakery and crispy fried chicken, they're absolutely delicious. With crumbs right down to the very last crumb. And there's a whole range of baked products that you can get from Crumbs Bakery. All of them very affordable. The question today, though, is what is the price of a family meal at Crispy's Fried Chicken, and what are the contents? Got you good. What is the price of a family meal at Crispy's Fried Chicken? And tell me, what are the contents? Bet you don't know. 228-5562, prove me wrong, or 228-5563. What's the price of a family meal at Crispy's Fried Chicken, and what are the contents? You ready for me, y'all? 228-5562 or 228-5563. You're running now, folks. You're ready. Don't run. It's a simple question. And of course, once you know it, you'll realize that it is very affordable. So Crispy's Fried Chicken today with us is our Crumbs question of the day. What is the price of a family meal? We got you trapped. I am so happy. Finally, I'm winning over you. So what is the price of a family meal at Crispy's Fried Chicken? And what are the contents? What did you get in that family meal? Tell me now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Had my first taste of Crispy's Fried Chicken just the other day, and let me tell you, that snack box was something else. It was totally delicious. We got a caller. Good morning to you. Hello. Morning. Oh, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Time to rise and shine. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I love the flavored chips. They have some seasoned fries that are delicious. Absolutely delicious. You can either have your chicken barbecued or fried. I had the barbecued one, really great. The sauces were super. Good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Pearson. I would like to answer the question, please.
Absolutely, but after I ask you something first.
Okay.
What's your first name?
My name is Margaret.
Hi, Margaret. Have you ever been to Crispy's Fried Chicken?
No, I have never had been as yet, but I heard the question. I heard about it over the radio.
Okay. So, Margaret,
yes, please.
Tell me, what is the price of a family meal and what's in that family meal?
I'm making a guess. I think it's $12.99 and it's chicken and chips.
That's all, Margaret? How many pieces of chicken and how many?
Two pieces of chicken and fries and buns.
And that's a family meal?
I think so.
So if you bought that, can that feed your family?
No.
Oh, all right then. So what do you think is a family meal, Margaret? No, Margaret, you're wrong.
Okay,
Check it again.
I just told you I'm just making a guess. Right?
That's all right. It was good fun with you, though. Thank you for trying. 228-5562 or 228-5563. The question is right there on your screen. What is the price of a family meal? And what's in its contents? What's the contents? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Pearson. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know my first name. What's yours?
Alicia.
Hi, Alicia. You sound as though you know the answer. What is it?
5 pieces. A side.
5 pieces of what?
5 pieces of chicken, a side, a bun for $27.95.
You said 5 pieces?
A side.
One side?
Bun.
How many buns?
Well, to say, and bun.
How many buns? What I mean to say, who is they for you? Alicia?
Yes, please.
But you know, I'll take that. And what's the price?
$27.95.
How you know?
I watched the ad.
Oh, by watching the ad?
Yes.
So you're dying to taste crispy fried chicken, aren't you?
Of course.
So if you had watched the ad, you should know how many buns, Sister Alicia. Talk to me.
Me?
Don't do you so?
No.
Alicia Kalard, you pleaded too beautifully. You know what? I'll take your answer. Yes, for the family meal, you only pay $27.95 for the family meal, which consists of 5 pieces of chicken, 1 side, and 3 buns, Alicia.
Oh, 3 buns. Oh,
yes. You just want to get 1 bun in the family meal?
Yes. No.
Oh, what was your answer? Yes or no? You're changing your mouth fast enough. Alicia, you're absolutely right, though. Stay on the phone. We'll take your answer, and someone will take some information from you. She's going to try it today. Try it, everybody. Try Crispy's Fried Chicken. You'll absolutely find it delightful. So go to any branch of Crispy's Fried Chicken and tell them you want the family meal for $27.95. In that, you get 5 pieces of chicken, 1 side, and 3 buns, and your family will love you for it. So there you go. That's the answer to today's Crumbs question of the day. Another will come your way, God spare life, tomorrow. All right. Shall we move on? 14 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock now. I want to introduce you now to this business, this enterprising young person. Her name is Amina Cisnet, and she operates and owns the business Container Kitchen 246. Amina, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson.
No, I could put a face to the voice because we spoke on the phone, but I didn't know who you look like. So there you are.
Yeah.
Amina, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. I'm a bit nervous, but very excited.
Listen, man, sit back. We're going to have a really rocking time right now. So, I mean, I love the story that you gave to me that led you into doing what you do now. Tell everybody what you said to me.
All right. Good morning, Barbados. Basically, Container Kitchen 246 is the name of the business, and it would have came about during the pandemic, the lockdown, which would have been last year, around, I can't remember when.
Don't worry about the month, but sometime last year.
Right, so sometime last year, and well, my husband and I were home, and as I said, the lockdown was on, so everything was like kind of closing a bit early and stuff.
Right.
And at that point in time, I had felt the need to eat some bread, you know, some salt bread or something like that.
Yes.
And I told my husband, let me just go to the gas station quick and see if it's still open. We might make it. So we drove all the way to the gas station. When we got there, it was shut. I was very, very disappointed, mostly because I felt to eat bread.
Yes.
So on the way back home now, my husband was like, so why you don't just like bake your own bread? So I was like, it's true. You understand? So as soon as I got home now, I just went and researched a whole set of different breads, and I guess one stuck with me, and I tried it for the first time, and I was so in love. I have a whole video with it as well. It was so nice. It was soft. I put butter. I put cheese. I was just so excited. Yeah. So from then on, we would have tweaked it a bit and, you know, made it our own a little bit as well. And today we have our bomb bread.
Bomb bread. I like the story simply because your husband asked, why you don't bake your own bread? So up until that point, you never baked your own bread?
No, never.
Oh, what kind of wife were you? Just kidding. You know, your husband wants a freshly baked bread. So having done that then, you discovered, hey, I have this talent that I never thought I had before. And you're doing it so very well. So what's the bomb bread so that people get a sense of what it is? Could you describe what it is?
Of course. All right. So the bomb bread, basically it's round in shape. I have some here baked last night. Well, all this morning I was baking just so that I would have some to showcase.
Sure.
Yes, so,
you have them right there with you, you said?
Of course. Yes, please.
Bring the bread. You can see the oven right behind her right there. Yes.
Yeah, got some breads. They got some bread.
Yes, I see that. Yes.
Okay. So this is the bomb bread. Right, so it's round. It's a nice size for the family and stuff like that. Basically, the taste is a light sweet.
Right.
Yeah, you can have this one either with or without raisins. It's completely up to you. And these are sold at $7.
Oh, that's very affordable for all that bread. If you're like me, I like to just take my hand and tear it off, crunch it and eat it. You know what? Seriously, you know. Don't cut the bread, don't cut it, just rip it off and go good to go. It looks delicious though.
Well, that means then, Pearson, that you would probably like this one. Because this one here is a 4-pack. So basically, these ones were farmed separately. But then after that, I would put them in one pan. Whereas you could
stick them together.
And stick them together so you would rip it off and you have your... Exactly. So you can have a nice chicken breast sandwich, like what I did for my husband and I. And going on, next we also have our... Oh, let me get this one first.
I love the show and tell, don't y'all? I just love the show and tell.
Okay, next we have our garlic braided bomb. Yes, it is a braided garlic bomb. Yes, it's a nice length and size, also nice for the family, and it is just infused with garlic. So for all of you garlic lovers out there,
I'm looking at it. I could almost smell it watching it through the TV. You could feel that it's nice and soft too, which is great.
Yes. So for all you garlic lovers out there, this would definitely be the bread for you. And to top it all off for now, because we are looking to, continue to try new breads and, give the general public more options and stuff like that.
Yes.
We also have here, as you can see, I'm going to lift it up first. We have garlic knots.
Oh.
So, yes. So, if it is that you don't want the whole long braided
Right.
bomb and you just want something to snack on,
A little bite
then
size, yes.
these will
Very
be perfect.
nice. Very. Stop it! You're making me hungry now. But that is great. You look at that. Who would have thought that last year this woman who never baked bread for her husband is now the business baker, if I could call you so much. You know, I know you're operating Container Kitchen 246 and you're baking up all of these delights. Talk to me a little bit about the transition into this and what it meant for you in terms of settling into this business.
Well, the transition wasn't really a tough one. I would say because it was more fun for us. So, like I said, it was more for personal use and just to bake and, you know, just to, you know, experience it and taste it and stuff and then post it up on WhatsApp. So it wasn't nothing too like a headache, anything. So, then after, you know, we would have let our friends try it and our friends' friends would have heard about it and tried it. And so then, you know, the demand was a bit greater and then it caused us to have, you know, a little more responsibility in having to make sure that our stock is there. When Monday come Friday, because those are the days that we bake on. We bake every Monday and every Friday. So that responsibility, having to make sure that things are prepped and prepared and ready for those days, then I would say that that would be the only, you know, making sure you're focused and stuff. So like I said, we bake on Mondays, on Fridays. Delivery is free, everybody. Delivery is free for now.
Yes.
Yes, and
so are you the baker? Only baker?
Yes, I am. Yes,
so
please.
So you're the only baker, and what does he do, Mr.
My husband delivers the bread. So he drives all to St. Lucie, to Christchurch, St. Philip, wherever you are, he will meet you. He will meet you. He will find you, and we deliver.
Are you happy with the outcome thus far for the business, though?
Yes, I am. I actually look forward to baking.
So now you love a Monday. No, Mondays feel good, huh?
It's true. It's true. Especially Fridays. Mondays and Fridays are good. I really look forward to it and seeing the artists coming in the days before, posting up the videos. Yeah. So I am not sure if you guys happen to see the videos.
So tell me where to find it.
Right. You can go on. We have a page. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Facebook. We have an Instagram account as well. So you can find us at any of these social media accounts at Container Kitchen 246. Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It looks really good. And your range of products are exciting as well. And they fit right into what we love to eat anyway. So you're doing the right thing, Amina. So for those who are looking to find you, because you operate from home, essentially, can we walk right up to your door and knock and say, Amina, you inside? I want some bread.
Well, persons usually like on their way home, they'll be like, well, I passing you by drive, baby. We passing to collect. But usually we don't mind, honestly, because after baking in the household day, it's nice to just get outside and get some nice fresh air so delivery we enjoy it as well.
All right. What number can we call to place an order?
You can call me at 248-6938.
All right, 248-6938, 248-6938. The number is to Container Kitchen 246. Amina Cisnet is her name, and she is definitely baking up some delicious delights. Amina, I want to thank you. I want to wish you every success with this endeavor. It sounds so delicious and so good for you. You got me good, man. So all the best. And you see, you weren't as nervous as you thought you were. You did very well, Amina.
Thank you.
One of our exceptional young people today. Thank you. Have a great day and all the best with the business.
You too. Thank you, Pearson.
You're welcome, Amina. All right. We're going to take a break right here. When we come back, this young man was a double scholarship winner and he's a battery engineer. We'll talk to him after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 minutes after 7 o'clock now. Harrison College will be so proud to see him once again. Edward Oakey. Good morning to you, Edward.
Good morning, Pearson.
How
I
are you
hope all is
doing?
well with you.
Good to see you guys. Now listen, you are a double scholarship winner because in 2015, you amazed all of us when you got 8 and 15 grade ones, really, and became a Barbados scholarship winner. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, some would say 15? Edward, where did you find the time to do 15 subjects?
Honestly, it was quite the task, but I think just growing up, having to manage sports in school and passing through the Barbados Soccer Academy was definitely prepping me to be able to manage all of these these extra loads.
So football was one of your passions, and so football was it that you also did while you were studying as well. And you said the Barbados Soccer Academy. What was it like going through the program of the Barbados Soccer Academy?
Well, I honestly, before I start, I must thank some of our sponsors, RBC Capital Market, for actually sponsoring and facilitating the Barbados Soccer Academy success through the years, as well as the Commerce School and National Sports Council and YMCA, which was one of our training grounds. In terms of the role of football and helped me manage school, BSA was definitely instrumental, and Jack Mavell in particular were instrumental in really ingraining that vision on trying to combine academics with school. So it became my normal, effectively. And it really allowed me to understand the benefit of managing your time pretty well, like understanding the true benefit in having a solid educational background, which has pushed me through to where I am at this point today.
But you know, you also had to, Jack was great in inspiring you, but your parents would have been critical at their agreement for you to be able to do all of this while studying, especially at Harrison College. You know, how was that discussion with your parents that you wanted to play football and how football impacted you? What was that like?
Well, fortunately, in my case, that was a pretty easy conversation to have. My parents were honestly very supportive from the beginning, taking me to practices, like bringing me back from practices, sometimes doing double sessions in a day. My dad would also help out with training when I was very, very young. So I'm very appreciative of their role in my football life so far.
It is so important that parents support their children, I think, when they're choosing their sporting endeavors. But you won that scholarship. Where did you go on that scholarship?
So I headed to Northeastern University, which is in Boston, Massachusetts.
And how was it there for you?
Honestly, a little bit cold. I was a bit homesick my first year, but I was able to get over that quite quickly with the support of my teammates. And there are a lot of other international students on the team, so it felt a little bit normal being different or not being from the US.
Yeah, I know what you mean exactly. But speaking of not being different, you had to prepare for your SATs. How was that preparation for you?
The SAT preparation was quite rigorous. I also got a lot of support and mentorship from Jack throughout the SATs, where we'd meet a few times a week, go through all of the practice questions. He'd give me corrections, pointers, and the iterative process on doing the exam. So it was quite impactful.
I heard of one of those grueling sessions of almost 5 hours, and when Jack turned around, you guys were sleeping. I thought it was so funny. Do you remember that?
Yes, we've had some very intense sessions, so it's quite likely.
Oh, that's great. But while you also represented Barbados at the national level, you've tried out for some international football teams as well. So talk a little bit about your football career till now.
So I would have played on the under-17 Barbados national team. We went to Panama for a number of World Cup qualifiers. Unfortunately, didn't make it all the way through, but it was still a very fruitful and impactful experience in my life, playing at such a high level at such a young age. And moved on to the under-20 national team, then played on my university team at Northeastern University. Even before getting to university, again, with kind of some of Jack's inspiration, would have done a number of circuits and training camps in the US and the UK. So I really had the opportunity to travel around and meet a wide range of people, interact with a lot of coaches. So it's been a very, very fruitful experience.
You've had such a surreal existence thus far, you know, to be able to use your skill at football, to be able to engage with so many different people from all over the world and experience different cultures by playing football. You know, did you at any time growing up thought that football could have afforded you those opportunities?
Honestly, I took it for granted, and like being very, very serious, like to this day, is kind of one of the easiest mediums for me to actually meet people. Like even now that I moved to a different state, it's so easy to just go to a park and like play football with people or chat to people about football. Even in the workplace, like it's very, very easy to connect with people. So it's something that I'm incredibly appreciative of.
So you've graduated now. What is it that you do now?
So I graduated with a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, and I've moved on to be a battery engineer at an electric vehicle company.
Someone asked, well, what is a battery? What is a battery engineer? What do you have to do? Tell us what is a battery engineer?
The whole idea behind battery engineering is just optimizing the batteries that go into electric vehicles, such that you could charge your car quickly, or you could discharge and accelerate quickly with your car. Effectively, just optimizing the batteries for the specific electric vehicle use case.
That's interesting. So, and that was a profession that you wanted? I knew you wanted to, you're an engineer, but did you see yourself landing doing what you're doing now?
That wasn't the original goal, but it kind of just fell into my line of work, because I would have done a couple of internships while in university, a few in energy storage and specifically renewable energy, and I had the opportunity to do a battery engineering co-op slash internship and develop the passion from there.
So does working take away from your other passion, football, or are you still there finding time to hit the pitch and do what you got to do?
I've baked it into my Sunday schedule to just have a light kick around with friends in the park. So it's definitely a part of my life.
Very good. So who's your favorite footballer of all time, do you think?
I must say David Beckham.
Really?
Easily, hands down, without a question, yeah.
Why easily, hands down, without a question?
I was just very fascinated by his ability to score on dead balls, or just even deliver a dead ball in the box. It was quite impressive, and I tried to emulate it growing up.
Have you been infiltrated by the American way of thinking? Because, you know, in this island we'll think Lionel Messi, we'll think all those kinds of other names. I hear you go with David Beckham. How has that experience in
right foot?
How has that experience in the United States influenced you in who you are today?
I think so far it's definitely given me a sense of independence. Just being able to move away from home, running my life a little bit more independently on a day-to-day basis, making more of my own decisions. It's definitely fostered a pretty solid experience.
That's right, being away from home from under the clutches of the parents, that can mean a lot to anybody as one develops. I get you loud and clear. So who's your favorite football team then?
Liverpool.
All right.
Yeah.
We live with that. Why?
I'm not doing so well at the moment.
Correct. So why?
I think they just played a very exciting brand of football where it's just very energetic, very passionate. And I really subscribe to what the coach was trying to achieve with the club.
Sweet. From where you are there now, you look back at football in Barbados. What's your critique? How do you assess what we do here?
I think in terms of Barbados football, like the talent is certainly there. It's mostly on the infrastructure and trying to foster a mentality within Barbados that yes, we are talented, but we just need to keep at it, keep training regularly, get a lot more exposure, like facilitating more things like what Jack is pushing with students going to the US to camps and getting a lot more exposure. So I think it's definitely on the infrastructure and getting more exposure for Barbadian youth.
How do you maintain your nationality, Edward, where you are in the States?
That's a good question because I actually haven't come across any any Barbadians where I moved to recently. But I guess it's just staying connected through Instagram, following a lot of stories that are still currently happening in Barbados, following the news, keeping up with friends who are still in Barbados. So I'm definitely still able to maintain that identity.
Do you get a chance to
despite
listen to
being
the
so far away.
music of Barbados?
I'm always locked into the music.
Good
a little
man.
bit disappointed that crop over may not be on full swing, but
Fair enough. So,
I'll
Edward, a
stay
couple
tuned.
questions. If you were to come home right now, and I mean right now, landed on Barbados, where's the first place you'd like to go?
I would say Martins Bay, but that's a Thursday event. I just really love the fish at Martins Bay. Is excellent.
And so, therefore, fish would be the first thing you'd want to eat, is it?
Yes, that's my first go-to.
All right. And who's the first person you'd like to see?
Definitely my mom and sister.
All right, your mother and sister. What's the name of your mother and sister?
My mom's name is Arit, and my sister's name is Ono. So I guess a shout out to them. Good morning.
They're watching their boy right now on television, and they're so proud of you, as we are here in Barbados as well. That's why we had to have you on this morning, Edward Oki, as one of our exceptional young people, doing very well now, a battery engineer. He's making a difference to how we power our way through life going forward as well. So, Edward, all the best to you in your future endeavors, and congratulations on everything you've achieved thus far. Keep inspiring, and hopefully one day you'll come back to inspire some others as well to perhaps follow in your footsteps.
Certainly, Pearson. Thanks a lot. That's definitely the goal.
You're welcome, Edward. Have a good day. All right,
Well done.
Edward
Take care.
Oki is his name. He went to Harrison College, by the way, a double scholarship winner, Barbados scholarship winner, and a soccer football scholarship winner there as well. Excellence is what he is all about. It's 23 minutes to 8 o'clock. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, more of our exceptional young people. .21 to the hour now. Tanya Griffith is our next exceptional young person. Tanya, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Good morning, Tanya. Look at you. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. We are going to describe you as a designer because you found your feet into the world of designing. Tell us a bit about your story. What caused you to take up this skill in the art of designing?
Well, initially, the caftans would have been my own personal style. And I would have been working in retail for a number of years, and in working in that particular establishment allowed me to be myself in the respect of wearing what I wanted to wear, respectfully, of course.
Yes.
And my style, obviously, it didn't start out as caftans, but initially it became that. And once it became that, I really, really found a love for it as well.
So you're into the business of designing kaftans.
Yes, so I design kaftans and I also make customized linen shorts and linen tops as well.
Oh, beautiful. So how has it been during this time of closure and restrictions and protocols and all of that for you to be able to do your business?
Wow.
How has it been?
It hasn't been easy at all, and I imagine that everyone can echo those same sentiments. But I do a wide variety of advertising via my social media platforms, which are Facebook. You can find me there at Tanya Griffith, or my IG handle, which is Designs by Tanya 246. The other thing as well is that I do go to a few markets during the week once the country is open. And I also do offer a delivery service where you can visit either of the pages, select whichever kaftan or kaftans, shorts or anything that you see there that you'd like, and we can arrange for a time and place that's convenient for both of us.
Is this all that you do, or are you also in another job?
No, this is actually my job. Like I said, I was initially doing retail for someone for a number of years, and I was doing this on the side, and COVID came and the world went in a uproar, still is, by the way, and my side hustle pretty much, yeah, my side hustle pretty much became my hustle.
Wow. And so far, so good? How has it been?
Yes. It's been tough in between, but apart from having these social media platforms to advertise, I've got some really, really good customers, Pearson, I kid you not, and they themselves advertise for me via word of mouth, and I say hands down, that has been by far the best form of advertisement.
So what has this pandemic and this need now to pivot into being your own owner, what has this taught you about yourself?
It has taught me for sure that being self-employed is not easy, and it's not for the faint-hearted at all. You have to be manager, you have to be the housekeeper, you have to be the marketing manager, you have to be everything.
But now you're handling everything.
Yes, I have to handle everything, and time management as well. It's a really big aspect of that as well too.
So for someone who is saying, you know, the uninitiated, a kaftan is just a piece of cloth you cut a hole around the neck and, you know, the arms fly free. It's not as simple as that, is it?
Well, that's the initial thought, and there are a lot of people who really don't know what kaftans are. So in essence, kaftans are variations of, some persons may be familiar with either kimonos or robes, or simply a throwover, and they've been around for years and years.
Yes. So this piece that's right there to your left, hanging right there, could you describe that one for me? Is that a kaftan?
Yes. Yeah, this is a kaftan, and they can basically be worn in two ways. So they can be worn either on the shoulder or off the shoulder, just depending on the particular look that you're going for.
Right.
They're purposely not stitched at the sides. However, they can be stitched at the sides at the request of the customer. And when they're stitched at the sides, it just means that that's the only way that they can be worn. So they're purposely done, not stitched at the sides, to allow for diversity in how you can wear them.
And also for ventilation, because we live in a very warm climate. So, you know, it's critical not to have clothing that would prevent you from your body from breathing properly and effectively as well. So let's talk about the fabrics now, because, you know, the difference now, not just in terms of whether it's stitched to the side or not, but the fabrics are what's going to help also bring out that difference and that differentiating factor. How do you source your fabrics?
Yes, absolutely. Generally, before COVID, I would generally source my fabrics from the US, from the UK, and also in Trinidad. But COVID has come, and because of travel restrictions and what's not, I tend to then shop locally, which sometimes can be a bit of a headache because a range of what's available is very depressing, limited, for lack of a better word sometimes, yes.
Yeah, it can be limited indeed. So you're working from home. Do you see yourself eventually one day opening up your own space where you manufacture and eventually wholesale and retail your business there as well?
Absolutely. My overall aim is to have Designs by Tanya as a household name, not just locally, but regionally and internationally as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually in the process, I don't want to talk too much about it to jinx it, but I'm actually in the process of talking to some of my customers in the UK and trying to get that come to life.
All right, we're not going to jinx it by talking about it in this. Leave that there right now. But designs by Tanya are available, and so would the Taftan be a piece of garment that's suitable for all body types and body shapes and body sizes?
Yes, the caftans, like I said, they're one size. They come in 3 different lengths. Those lengths are short, medium, and long. And so depending on your height and size and generally what you just prefer, you can choose from that. And like I said, if you're even a very petite person and you don't like the idea of all the fabric swinging around you, so to speak, then you can always have it stitched at the size. That's also optional, like I would have said earlier on, but just know that that's the only way then when you do that, that's the only way it can be worn.
All right. So how can people access these designs by Tanya?
You can contact me via my Instagram handle at Designs by Tanya 246. So that's DE_SIGNSBYTANYA 246. Or you can contact me on my Facebook page at Tanya Griffith, or you can call me via WhatsApp or regular call on 254-8468.
All right, there we go. So I can see women already lining up to call you and to get one of their kaftans, at least one of them, to start with as they experience the designs by Tanya. Tanya Griffith, I want to thank you. I want to wish you the very best in your future endeavors as you create the beautiful pieces to help ladies feel a whole lot more beautiful as well. And with this business, I want it to be very, very successful to you as well. So thank you for joining us this morning as an exceptional young person. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pearson, and thank you for having me as well.
You're very welcome. Tanya Griffith is her name. Now you know it. Designed by Tanya 246 on social media. DE_Zine. We're back after this break. Ten minutes now to the hour of 8 o'clock as we go all the way to the UK to say good morning today to Jamar Eiffel. Good morning to you, Jamar.
Hi, good morning to you as well.
How are you doing today in the UK, Jamar?
I'm fine actually. The weather's been better for the week, so it's not as cold as usual.
Perfect timing, right? So
Yeah, very much so.
where are you in the United Kingdom?
I'm staying in a place called Scunthorpe,
Mhm.
in North Lincolnshire, representing the Appleby Frodingham Cricket Club.
So cricket got you there, or did you go travel to England and decide, you know what, while I'm there, let me continue my sport of cricket?
Cricket got here. I've been over before in 2018,
Mhm.
and I've always wanted to come back, but since COVID struck, and then it was just quite of a bit of a pause,
Mhm.
and then this year just got the opportunity to come back and just grabbed it with both hands.
And there you are now playing cricket in the United Kingdom. So your passion for cricket, though, as a sport, where did that start? Was it at primary school?
It started from as long as I can remember, just being 2, 3 years old, playing cricket in the house with my father.
Mhm.
Just developed.
So what cricketer would you be? More of a bowler, batsman, fielder? Which
A
area?
batting all-rounder.
Ah, so as a batting all-rounder, batting is your dominant skill, but you can also bowl, field, and the like, right?
Yes, please.
That's how one describes it. Okay, fine. So while in Barbados, you would have gone to St. Albans Primary there in St. James. Eventually, you went on to Alexandra School. Talk to me a little bit about your cricketing prowess while at the Alexandra School.
Well, I had a bit of a slow start to my cricket career. Due to that, when I was at St. Albans, from class probably up until class 4, there was no cricket side. So I only got here in primary school cricket with the coach Dwayne Boucher. He had a pivotal part to play in my development at that age. And then I went on to Alexandra with Peter Vaughan. He would call me shot the ball.
Why do you
Just my
think he called
respect,
you
the
that?
respect I have for him. Just used to play a shot at every ball.
Ah.
So going through there, the development work that I did with Mr. Peter Vaughan, it was just very instrumental to my cricket career.
And then eventually you went on to play for the Barbados, you went into the Barbados Defence Force Sports Program. That's a very rich program, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Have some good cricketers coming out there. Have guys like Miguel Cummings, Tino Bess, and just to name a few.
Mm-hmm. And all along, cricket was always central to everything that you are. Who's your favorite cricketer, do you think, Jamar?
I wouldn't say that I have a favorite. It just I like a lot of guys based on their role in cricket. Like I like Chris Gill, just his destructiveness and his ability to hit sixes.
Yes.
But if I had to say, I would probably say like a guy like David Warner, because I kind of resonate my batting a lot to his, the way how he stays consistent throughout all the formats.
Mm-hmm. And who's your favorite bowler, do you think? Or who's that bowler that you think is one that you would like to emulate?
I would say kind of like Anderson.
Mm-hmm. And that's the guy from Australia, or is that from the United?
From England.
Oh, right, right. You played cricket here for the UWI in Barbados as well. And so, how was that for you?
Was when I went to UE, I started doing some work with Rohan Nurse, and since then I can say that I improved a lot. And he's, even now that I'm in UK, he's still organizing ways for me to get in some training sessions with a coach over here. So he's just been extra instrumental in the way how my cricket has developed since I went to UE up until this point.
So at the moment you're with a club, Appleby Frodingham?
Appleby Frodingham, yes please.
So tell me about the club and what role do you play and how have they been able to coach you into being a better cricketer?
Well, when I first came to the club, since I haven't been playing cricket in a while, they said that I can start batting at 5 and just start to get accustomed to conditions, that kind of stuff. So I would bowl for exchange, if you feel first, and then it would bat at 5. But as the time progressed and I started to settle in a bit more, moved up the order to 3 now. Got my first 100 in the competition a week ago. So that was nice to get. Just always good to perform for the team. They support me 100% because when I first came, given the conditions, it was very cold. I was not bowling my best, and they just kept supporting me all the time and just telling me just take my time, concentrate, do what I have to do. And all the guys are always up. Like, I can call one of the guys now and say they want to train, and someone would always come down and train. So it's just nice to be at a club where you have a nice group of lads and guys similar to my age group as well. And it's just a great club to be at.
So now you're batting at number 3. You've had your first ton. You know the expectation now is something else for you to bat another ton. And then what other goals have you set for yourself?
At this point in the season, I just want to at least get 4 centuries. That's the least I'm aiming for.
Right.
Overall runs, don't really have a set target on how much runs I want to score at the end of the season. It's more about an average. I would like to average over 40. Kind of behind the 8 ball at the moment, but just looking to get it up over the next couple of games.
Do you see yourself eventually, Jamar, becoming a member of the West Indies cricket team?
I dream about it. Vivid dreams.
You want to have that? You want to wear that maroon, right?
Yes, please.
All right. So, what's your assessment
that's probably the goal of many young cricketers.
I'm telling you, I know. I know. I had one of those dreams too. Never met it, but nevertheless, I had a dream. What's your assessment of the West Indies cricket team now?
They're a talented group, as everyone that knows cricket would know, but riddled with inconsistencies in terms of performances. Then a couple of the guys are a bit unfit, but I think it's a good group now coming together, and you can see it based on some of the performances that they've been portraying over the past couple of years under leadership with Jason Holder, which is now passed on to Craig. So hopefully he can carry on the baton and just get the guys gelling together and just playing more consistent cricket over a longer period of time.
Which is the best cricket team in the world right now? Watch your answer.
Shots wise or personally?
You tell me.
Personally, I would say I would go for New Zealand.
Okay.
Just based on their setup and they're just a well compacted team, led by a great leader in Kane Williamson.
So New Zealand is for you. Fair enough, I can't blame you. That's your choice. But we're going to support our boys here. There's a series coming up very shortly in the Caribbean. It's a 3 series really for real, and we're going to be watching their performance very closely. So Jamar Eiffel
versus South Africa.
Your birthday is coming up in July. We want to wish you happy birthday in advance, but we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning on Morning Barbados, because you're one of our exceptional young people. Keep doing what you're doing and doing it well. Thank you, Jamar Eiffel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. All right, that's it for today, everybody. We thank you, too, for joining with us. For the crew, to all of you, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.